here's how the survey works. We asked 3 celebrities to complete a phrase. Our first phrase was, the hardest thing about having my first baby was... Julie Bowen wrote, sleep deprivation. Natalie Portman wrote, the baby's constant crying. Snooki wrote, knowing exactly when to turn him over in the tanning bed. Hurricane Isaac veered away from the Republican convention because Al Roker wrote, prevailing headwinds sent it further west. Wolf Blitzer wrote, it was attracted by the warm water off the Gulf Coast. Mitt Romney wrote, it received my personal check for $10 billion. That worked, yeah.
You can do that.
If I were a tree, I'd be... Harrison Ford wrote, an oak. Amy Poehler wrote, an orange blossom. Lindsay Lohan wrote, a tree driving a car into another tree. I owe most of my success to... Seth Green wrote, good parents who taught me to always work hard. Will Ferrell wrote, being fearless with comedy. David Hasselhoff wrote, a rare neurological disorder that prevents me from experiencing shame. I know that disease well. An excellent source of information on the female body is, Tina Fey wrote, our bodies ourselves. Gwyneth Paltrow wrote, Women's Health magazine. Representative Todd Aiken wrote, Jeff Foxworthy's The Redneck's Guide to Lady Parts. Yeah.
Good.
It's a good book.
Good book.
will.i.am is broadcasting his latest song from the surface of Mars because NASA's Charles Bolden wrote, it's a great way to showcase the technology of the Curiosity rover. Justin Bieber wrote, it's an excellent publicity stunt. will.i.am wrote, no one on this planet wants to hear it.
He's being too hard.
He's being way too hard on himself.
Yeah.
This presidential election will prove what Americans truly want is, Barack Obama wrote, a solid investment in their middle class. Mitt Romney wrote, smaller government and common sense leadership. Paul Ryan wrote, a vice president with the cold, lifeless eyes of a serial murderer. Those peepers are... Sleep. After a night with the guys, my girlfriend wants to know. Vince Vaughn wrote, how much I drank. Derek Jeter wrote, exactly who I was with. Prince Harry wrote, why the tip of my penis is covered in pool chalk. Besides from England.
I know.
I just figured it out. As a kid, I loved my cat because he was so... Julianne Moore wrote, cuddly. Wendy Williams wrote, playful. Larry King wrote, saber-toothed. Those always delight me. My grandmother used to call me, Paul Rudd wrote, apple cheeks. Kate Beckinsale wrote, sweetie pie. Geraldo Rivera wrote, douche nozzle. Now, and finally, I've been following the fate of jailed Russian punk band Pussy Riot because Michael Moore wrote, they are taking on the excesses of the Putin regime. Anne Hathaway wrote, they put themselves at risk for political freedom. Bill Clinton wrote, I get a Google alert every time there's a story about the words pussy and jail. Well, I believe our work here is done.
It certainly is.